Okay, Alfred, have you got everything? You know we've got a big project today. On with the tutorial now. Oh, okay, good. Oh, hello there, followers, and welcome back to my Minecraft tutorial. I was just discussing with Alfred here today's tutorial and what we need, because today is a big project. It's the biggest project we've ever done in the tutorial world here. And today's episode we are going to be building an Enderman XP farm. So we're going to go to the end and take advantage of the Enderman spawning mechanics in the end, and we're going to create a big farm based on this to give us fast experience, even faster than the Blaze farm, and unlimited Ender pearls. So I've prepared everything that we need for this project off camera, and there is a lot of stuff, so you may need to go mining and do some resource collection prior to actually going ahead and building this farm. Now, this farm design was not designed by myself. This was designed by a great guy who goes by the name Panda, and I will link his video in the description. And we're going to be building that here on this tutorial world because it's the fastest XP farm in Minecraft at the moment, I believe. That may change in a future update, and also it's just generally efficient, very useful. So I think the first thing that we need to do is take a look at the resources required, and then move everything over basically to the stronghold and then the end realm itself. So let me see here. So let's head down here. This is the building blocks you're going to need for the farm itself. So round one chest full of your building block of choice. I've gone with stone bricks here. This could be cobblestone. Basically anything that Enderman can't pick up you want to go with, and preferably something that you can create slabs from. And then you're going to want around 2 rows of stone slabs, or whatever slabs you want to go with. I've just made a couple more here. A load of torches, as many torches as you can get really is always handy. And they're the building blocks really needed. Now let's take a look at the redstone stuff. So you're going to need 9 stacks of string. You can get those from abandoned mine shafts or building a cave spider or spider trap. 10 stacks of redstone, shouldn't really be that hard to get. I mean, you get lots of redstone from mining. 10 stacks of pistons. This is probably the hardest thing to get. The 10 stacks of, well, 9 stacks of pistons actually. 9 stacks of pistons. That's probably going to be the hardest thing to get because you need a lot of wood and cobble for that. 4 stacks of ladders, 2 stacks of tripwire hooks, a stack of torches in here, a stack of buttons, a lava bucket and a water bucket, a fence gate, 2 stacks of fences, and a stack of vines. The iron pickaxe is optional. I'm taking this with me just as a pickaxe to generally use. So we've got that stuff, and in here we have some building blocks just for around the farm, and some temporary blocks so that we can get around the farm. As you will see as we get further into the video, it's kind of tricky to maneuver around this thing while building it. So it's always a good idea to bring some blocks with you, netherrack particularly for getting up and down the farm itself. And that is just about it. Now I have took all of my good equipment away because we don't need it. I'm just bringing this level 30 diamond pick that I made, which was not very good, efficiency 3 pick fodder there, and I'm just going to bring my basic equipment with me. You want a good amount of food, of course. Maybe some decent armor would be good. It's not required though. And I've just got my sword and bow and whatnot here. So the first thing you really want to do is move all of this stuff actually into the end, and I would recommend bringing a bed with you and sleeping at your end portal in the stronghold, and just sleep there. In case you die while you're in the end, you can basically just jump straight back without having a huge trek. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move all of this stuff over to the stronghold, sleep in the bed, and then we'll go from there and we'll start on the next bit, which is going to be involving actually going pretty close to the void, and it's tedious work. So let's get on with that, guys. I'm going to load everything up, and it would be a good idea if you can to get access to an ender chest. You should be able to have access to blaze rods and ender pearls by now to make yourself a pair of ender chests, just so that you can actually load that up as well, just to save on the amount of trips you need to make. So I'm going to get on with that, guys, and I will see you over at the stronghold. Okay guys, so I've transported everything to the end here. I just carried on and transported it to the end because I thought, why not? So if we happen to die, I'm going to respawn at the stronghold bed in the cabin just above, so I can just pop back through without too many problems, should I say. So The first step to building the Enderman farm is to build away from the Endstone Island, and the reason we do that is because Endermen are literally all over this island. So when we build the trap, we want all the Endermen to actually be in the trap, and if we built it on the island, they would be basically all out here, so it wouldn't be very efficient. So what we need to do is find a point on the island which is right at the edge, in our case, because we don't have a floating obsidian platform, and then we need to build away from it and also down from it. So we're going to do that. Now, my little tunnel here is back to my obsidian platform. Ideally, you need to build this as close to your obsidian platform as possible, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter where in the end you bridge out from. But I'm just going to use here because it's the furthest point this way. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to build a little, kind of like a little obsidian platform of our own, I guess. Just so that we've come a little bit further away from the edge of the Endstone Island. And what are we at here? Let's just make this a 5x5. There we go. Now, Enderman won't be able to pick up cobblestone, so we have no worry there. I'm just going to nudge this guy off. There we go. And he will die to the void. And now what you want to do is you want to place a block here and a block here, and then you want to dump lava in the middle. And the lava will spread 2 blocks and it's going to go down. And as you can see, it's going down fairly fast, and we need to wait for it to get all the way to the bottom of the map, and we are currently at Y57. So it's going to take a little while. And once it gets down there, what we're going to do is we're going to put water right here. I think that's almost at the bottom now. It looks pretty close. I think it is. So now we can put water here, and this creates a cobblestone generator all the way down. And this is going to give us our ladder to go down. So now what we need to do is get ourselves our ladders out on the hotbar, and we need to begin to put this ladder on the front of this block here. Now, an easier way of doing it is to hop into the water current, and you have to be very, very careful here because you are right next to the void. You can use space to go up if you need to, but we need to go all the way down to the very, very bottom. And if you kind of go half and half like this, then you are not going to take drowning damage, which is really important because you don't want to die doing this. So here we are at the bottom now. So what we need to do is get a block at the bottom like this. As you can see, this should now be Y of 1, which it is. And I'm just going to build 1 or 2, maybe even 3 blocks out. And then we're going to use our ladders to climb back up to where we just built our platform. And the reason we're going down to the level of Y1 is because above 128, the farm begins to lower on efficiency, and we want the maximum possible efficiency out of this thing. So that's why we're going to go down from Y1 to Y128. So we're going to build our way all the way back up now to the top of the platform. And we can now pick up our lava and our water. There we go. So that's those. I'm going to fill in that hole before I fall into it. I'm just going to put some torchlight on here. And then the very next thing we need to do is build away from the island. And we need to build at least 128 blocks away. So the easiest way to do that is to get 2 stacks of your favorite building block on your hotbar, and then just build away using that until you've run out. So I'm going to hop back down the ladder here. And it's important that you bring a lot of torches with you for this bit as well, because you want to light up the the cobblestone here, so the Endermen don't spawn on this walkway. That will be a real pain later on. So always place light, and place light every 2 or 3 blocks. So now what we have to do is basically bridge away from the Endstone Island until we have no cobblestone left, like I'm doing. So I'm going to cut this part because it's really not that interesting to watch, but that's what I would recommend doing. Just get in 2 stacks of cobblestone on your bar, and then bridging away and put torches every 4th block. So here we have reached 4 blocks away, put a torch. Okay guys, so I built the 1 block little bridge for 128 blocks. This is the 128th one right here, and I have then created a safety platform, and this is going to go from 128 blocks, and I've made this 20 by 40. So what this is designed to do is, say if I happen to fall and die when building this farm, then I'm not going to lose all my items to the void. They're just going to kind of spill around all over the place, and then I can collect them when I come back here. In addition to that, I put this safety rail around. Just use netherrack for that. You can use anything for either of these two really. And I've just built this so that if I happen to die near the edge, the items are going to hit this and not go over. That's the aim anyway. So good idea to build this. Now you may wonder what this big hole is in the middle of the safety platform, and that's going to be the base for the Enderman farm, which we're going to work on now. I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that I was going to build a safety platform, and I've also transferred all the items that was over in the main end island there all the way over to this particular platform. So make sure as well that you have placed light around everywhere on this platform so that Endermen don't spawn and cause chaos basically. So what you need to do is, in the center of your safety platform, you need to cut out a 6 by 17 gap like so. So if we do a quick count here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 there. And this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So what this is going to do is it's going to basically mark out our template for laying the base of the Enderman farm. So I'm going to go ahead and put stone bricks in here. And we're going to fill the entire safety platform, well, the gap in the safety platform, with these stone bricks. And also don't forget to place light. So where are my torches? There they are. So let's grab some torches here, and let's just place down some light. And I'm going to go ahead and fill the rest of this in, like so. Okay, so now that's done, what we need to do is surround the edge of this particular platform with 2 high fences, and we're going to do that all the way around like so, and just leave a gap in the middle right here where the gate is going to be so that we can get into the farm. So we just want to go like this, and let's just run it all the way around the edge like so. And I'm just going to take that light out for now, and this one, and we're going to run all the way around this edge. Now we can see why I built the safety platform. Super handy to have this around. And we're going to build this around the edge as well. Any fences that you happen to misplace, just get back. Ideally I could have brought my axe, but I didn't bother risking bringing that, so we're just going to have to manually break them in this case. And we want all of this like so. There we are. I'm just going to get this one back, and let's just finish this side. Okay, so that's now done. So what we need to do next is get ourselves our fence gate and place it in the middle like that. Now what we want to do is we want to get our stone bricks again and some temporary blocks wherever I put those. Was it in here? No, I must have used them all actually. I thought I had more netherrack than that. Huh. Not unless I left it somewhere else. Never mind, we can always use some stone bricks. I may have left them in the ender chest without realising. So now what we want to do is we want to surround the top of this with stone bricks. Like so. Oops, we want to get that back. So let's head back up here again, and let's just finish this. And you can just kind of walk your way around like this. We're going to need more stone bricks, and let's place all of these. There we are. And then we want to go and do another inner ring, like so, but not these two. We want to do another inner ring just like this, Actually, yeah, we do want those corner ones. So what you should be left with is a 2 by 13 gap, and this is where the Endermen are going to fall down. So this is where we will be able to stand and kill them when the trap is complete by punching away at their feet. So, now let's move on to the next section. Okay, so you need to make sure that light is placed on top of this little hole here and down below so that Endermen don't spawn. And what we're going to do now is we are going to create a sort of shaft to prevent Endermen from being able to escape this area right here. And in order to do that, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to make a ring of slabs all the way around the top here. So let's just go ahead and do that now. You need to go all the way around the edge, like so. There we are. And then we want to go to one of the corners. In this case, I'm going to choose this one. And we want to stack up 40 blocks. And place ladders as you're doing so, because we're going to need to get up and down this particular shaft. So, the easiest way to do that is just get 40 blocks on your hotbar. And then basically just add ladders and build up that way. So fairly simple. So let's do this and just keep going up like so. Okay, so now that's done, what we need to do next is build these rings around every 2.5 blocks. And the reason we do that is because Endermen are 3 blocks tall and they can't fit through a 2.5 block gap. So the reason we're using slabs and not full blocks is because Endermen can't spawn on slabs either. Not that they would be able to in this gap anyway, but hey, it's more resource friendly. And resource friendly in this build is very important because, as you've already seen, it's very resource intensive. So yeah, let's build this, and then you need to go all the way around like so, and then climb the ladder. And then you need to kind of just hop on over like this, and then we need to move up again and do another 2.5 blocks. And we need to do this until we get to the top of the tower. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and then I will be back. Okay guys, so now we are going to work on the drop reset for this trap. And what we need to do for that is when we get to the top of our ladder here, instead of going with slabs on the last one, we actually need to place normal blocks, and we're just going to repeat the pattern that we have been doing just with the normal blocks here all the way around till we get to the other side like so. And let's come around here, up we go like so. There we go. So now you need to take your buttons and place them in the center like this, and we need to do that on the other side as well. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to fall off. So let's do this. So now the buttons are in. Now we need to get back on the ladder again. Now we need to extend this by 2 blocks all the way around like so. And this is where the vines are going to go. And the idea behind this is, above this layer is where basically the Endermen are going to fall from. And this is going to be a reset to their drop so that they don't die on impact. So we can get a 1-punch kill out of them. And they will just slide against the vines, and I'm actually 2 stone bricks short. So I'm going to have to just go quickly get some more. Let me go ahead and get those. Where are we? There we go. So let's just quickly head back up this ladder. It's a long climb now. Real long climb. Let's just work on this. Up we go. And I didn't place light up here, so we're going to have Endermen spawning all over it now. So I'm going to go ahead and put some light up here now. And just avoid any Endermen. All of those Endermen will be 1-punch kills. Because they've now fallen down to the bottom. Now what you need to do is go ahead and place your vines in the middle, like this. And same on the other side. And you could let them grow, but I'm going to go ahead and place them down here as well. The buttons are designed to prevent the vines from growing further down and messing the system up. So here we go, let's put all our vines down, and that's that for the drop reset. Okay guys, so now we are ready to start work on the spawning platforms for the Enderman XP farm here. And for each spawning layer you're going to need 26 pistons, 26 string, 30 redstone, 4 tripwire hooks, some building blocks of your choice, some slab blocks, and some temporary blocks. So let's head on up there and let's start work on the first spawning platform. So up the ladder we go. It's getting a long way up now, and this is perhaps the most tedious and boring part of the build, so happens to coincidentally also be the biggest, but sometimes we just have to kind of do these things. It's worth it, I think, in my opinion. So I brought some more ladders with me, and the reason I've gone ahead and done that is because we're going to extend this ladder right here up a little bit. We want to go 3 blocks above where the drop reset is, and I'm going to just put some ladders on there. Now we're going to hop down here, and what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to start adding a ladder to this side, and you will see why later on, but we are just going to put a ladder here for the time being, and I'm going to just put a little turnaround to this half of the ladder. So now we are here and we are on this layer. We want to place our first tripwire hook right there, and then next to it we need to go and place a block where the redstone is going to be sat right here. There we go. We want the redstone so that when the tripwire is activated it will power this, and then we want to go 1 up above this, and you can do that by right clicking on the edge of the redstone. It has a very slim hitbox, and you need to go all the way across to the other side here using your full blocks, and we are going to need some temporary blocks right here where we can build our other tripwire hook. Oops, I meant to put a stone brick there, and this is where we're going to put our other tripwire hook like so. And then we want another block here, which is where the redstone is going to sit. We can knock these out now, and we are going to climb up here and run the redstone all the way across like so. So the redstone is now in place. Then we just need to get back down here again, and we need to put the pistons in place, and the pistons sit right under here. Very careful not to fall off. One thing I would suggest while doing this is make sure absolutely everything is lit up, because having Enderman around will make this 10 times harder. And then what you need to do is you need to place string in between the 2 tripwire hooks. You could use the blocks for this and just right click against the sides of the blocks, and you will see that the tripwire then activates, and that is basically it for this half of this first spawning layer. Now as you can see there, if I touch the tripwire it will push the pistons out, push in this case the Enderman down to their doom into the capture area down there. So now what we need to do is we need to do the exact same thing but on this side. So let's go ahead and get our temporary blocks again. And it's a good idea to bring something like netherrack for temporary blocks, something that you don't particularly care about, and the reason that we do that is because the chances are you won't be able to collect this back when you're done. Most of it will just despawn down there. So we want our tripwire hook again there, and then we want to place our first block right here next to it, and we want to put the redstone on top, and then we want to put some more stone bricks right here, and we want to run all the way across back to where we were again like so. And then right here is where we want our very first, our last tripwire hook right there, and then we want to go and put some more redstone right here, and we can just collect those back. Then we need to run the redstone all the way across like so, and then we want to put the pistons in. I would suggest putting the pistons in before the string, because if you activate the tripwire first then you're probably going to get knocked off, and a fall from this height would pretty much kill you. And the further we get up, the less likely you're going to survive, so it gets more risky. And that's why we build the temporary platform, so we don't lose everything to the void. So let's get this in place. And this will activate the tripwire hooks for this side. And that is the spawning row for this one complete. Now, there are some things that we have to consider though, and this is why we need our slabs. Certain areas of this spawning platform, Enderman will be able to spawn in and just kind of accumulate, and we don't want that. And one of these areas is right here. So we want to make sure that Enderman cannot spawn in this area. And we want to do the same thing on the other side, which is why I built this. So we can just kind of, I don't know where that placed. Okay. So we can kind of link them up without losing our stuff. And that is pretty much it for this first spawning layer. Now there are also some areas that you want to cover on top of this, and that is on top of there and on top of this as well. Now we don't want to cover up the redstone above the pistons because there's going to be another row of pistons above this preventing Enderman from spawning. So let's just go and add our slabs right here as well. And right there. And this one I'm going to put a torch on because this is where our ladder well's going to be. So that is the first spawning platform. Now make sure that it's lit up for the time being, because eventually Enderman will start spawning in here, and actually we are going to have to get down there and remove all the torches, so we should probably do that now if we can. I don't know if an easy way to do it. I guess you could ender pearl and remove the torches. That's what we'll do. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to get a bunch more supplies together now that we know how to build one of these spawning platforms. I'm going to show you how to build another one on top of that. Then I'm going to do the remaining 18 off camera because we need to build 20 spawning platforms. And then I'll come back after that and we'll clear up the whole farm completion. So yeah, I've lost a couple of bits of netherrack from that, but that's not too bad. I may even be able to recover them from this side actually. Nope. Well, that's why we brought the temporary blocks. So I'm going to go ahead and get some more supplies, and I will be back. Okay guys, so I got the supplies that I'm going to need for a couple more layers up here, and the first thing that we need to do is extend our ladder a little bit higher than it was before. So let's go ahead and do that for just a couple of blocks. And then what we want to do is we want to place normal blocks above where the tripwire is and the tripwire hooks. So we need to run all the way along to the very end like this, and including this block as well, and then we go across like this, and you should be recognizing that this is the pattern below that we have where the drop reset is, and this is going to be the next spawning layer where the Enderman can then spawn, and it's basically going to be the exact same thing as what we were doing down there, just a layer higher. So now we have this, we need to make sure to get our tripwire hooks, and we need to place a tripwire hook right there, and then we need to get ourselves some temporary blocks again and just pop that right there, and let's get ourselves some redstone and pop that on there. So as you can see, it's not really all that hard to do. It just requires just a little bit of concentration as you're building it, just to get it done really. So again, right here is where we're going to want another tripwire hook, and I always keep doing that. I mean to place a stone brick there and not a netherrack block, so we can put that there. Then we want to go and get some more temporary blocks again and pop. Actually, we want a stone brick right there, and then this. Now we can knock these out, and now we want to just jump up and get our redstone and hook it up like we did before, right down to the other side. And then we want to break this. Then we get our pistons and we fill in the gap left here. As you can see, this is a too high gap, so Enderman will not be able to spawn in this area, so we don't have to slab it. I mean, you could slab it if you wanted to, but it wouldn't bring any advantages. It would just mean more resources that we don't really need to spend. So that's why we're doing that, and we're going to link this up. And as you can see, that's that side now completely hooked up. If I activate the tripwire, as you can see, it will push the Enderman and they will get pushed into this section. So now, as before, we need to work on the other side and wrap that up. Let me, yeah, I got it right. To place our other tripwire hook there and break this. Well, I guess we could have saved that because I need to do this. Wait, no I don't. I need to put a stone brick here. Like so, and now we need to knock these out and put our redstone right there. And we need to run our stone bricks again to the other side. Like so. There we are, right to the other side here. And in this section we want some more temporary blocks. Like so. Up to here. And I'm going to claim you again. And I'm going to put you in there. And we're going to get our redstone back out. And we're going to put the redstone in there. And much the same as we did before, we're just going to hop up and we're going to run the redstone across like so. And that connects it again. And now we need to hop back down and get our pistons back out. And actually put these pistons in. Like so. And then we need to hook up our string once again. There we are. All of our string. And connect those like so. So now we need to make sure again that Enderman can't spawn in these areas. So we fill this in. And we do the same thing on the other side. Like so. Oops, I didn't not mean to do that. So we want to do the same thing on the other side. This is why I built the ladder, and we're going to fill that in. And then we are going to put slabs on top of here and here. And we're going to do that the same on the other side. That was pretty dangerous. And then we're going to do this, and we want to do the same thing on top of that one, but of course we don't do it here as we're going to extend the ladder a little bit further. So that is how you build the second spawn platform, and you basically repeat this pattern another 18 times. So we need to do another 18 of these, and then once we have done that, I will come back and we will look at wrapping up the farm. And once we have actually done this section, the construction of the farm itself is complete. So I'm going to get on with that, guys, and I'll see you in a couple of hours. Okay, guys, several hours and several deaths later, I have completed the Ender. So now we are on top of the 20th layer, and as you can see we are on a Y coordinate 125, and if we were to add another layer on top of this one, then we would break the number of 128 and begin to start lowering the efficiency of the farm. So we have completed all the layers, and now we're up the top here. The thing that we need to remember is that Enderman could still spawn on these redstone lines, because there is no pistons going to be above it like there is here. So on this top layer you need to make sure that every possible spot where Enderman could spawn is covered with a slab, so that Enderman won't spawn on that. So as we can see here, I've done all of this half, and we're going to do this half. So yeah, I've died probably around 4 or 5 times from falling off this thing. And I've only just managed to get enough equipment to finish it. I think I lost some stuff to the void, but there we go. So now this farm, well, the construction of the farm is now complete. So we can't go ahead and use it yet, though, because we need to do a few more things before it's ready for usage. So let's first head down here, down the ladder, and we need to finish this off. There we are. As you can see, Endermen are spawning down there and falling into the trap below, so that's good. So now we need to take a walk down here. Did I get the torch on top of the ladder? Nope. We need to make sure that even that has a slab on it now, because we do not want any extra space, because that lowers the efficiency of the farm, and that's never good. So, as you can see here, we've got the trap as we take the long ladder crawl down all the way to the bottom. Down we go. And eventually I'll probably end up switching this ladder around now that we're done with it. There we go. See Enderman hitting the drop reset there. So now we want to remove these blocks as well. We don't want any extra blocks where Enderman could potentially spawn. Now we need to head down to the bottom. And as we head down, you will see that it's definitely working. As you can see, this thing is just filled with Enderman. I think I looked at one, actually. I think there's one mad at me in there. Ah, well. I'm sure it's fine. So now the main construction of the farm is complete. But we still have one or two things left to do. And that is, we need to clear up this safety platform so that Endermen don't teleport out here. And we also need to bring our enchantment table and so forth over here. So, yeah, let's get on to that section. Okay, so you have two options now. You could either remove the safety platform completely, or you can cover it with blocks and make it too high. And I'm going to go ahead and do that because we need room here for enchantment tables and anvils and storage and all that sort of stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to place blocks. This can be any block that you like, and we're going to bring it out to here, which is where the edge of the safety platform is. Ignore the nether rack at this point, that's going to be taken down. And we're going to go ahead and do this for everywhere around the ender at the moment anyway, like so. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be back. Okay guys, so I've done that. I've covered the entire roof with stone bricks, made it just too high. These fences are optional. I put them in just to stop my stuff from spilling off the edge in case I happen to die while I'm here, so that it will all be safe. And I removed the nether rack, as you can see, and I just put some torches down for some lighting. So now we've got to do the last two things to complete this farm. The first thing that we need to do is make sure that Enderman cannot teleport or spawn anywhere outside of this area right here. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and then the final part will be setting up our enchantment table and getting the anvil down and so forth in this base, because this is basically a base now. Now, one optional thing you can do, and I'm actually going to do, is I'm going to take these fences down because it gives me a bit more room to stand back and away from the Enderman so that they don't have a chance to hit me. So this was optional in the first place, but I'm going to take this down as we really don't need it. I'm going to keep the platform though, that the Enderman will fall on, the stone bricks there, but I'm just going to take these out. And then what we need to do is we need to go on top of where the stone bricks are and put water down. And water will prevent Endermen from spawning there because they would teleport out of water, so they can't spawn there. And it will also prevent any Enderman from teleporting up there, causing a lowering in the efficiency rate, because eventually they'll just keep building up there and keep building up and up until it's kind of too late, and then we're not getting many Endermen and you have to leave the area. We don't want any of that. We just want a simple working farm. So now we're going to just tear all of these down, so it gives me a little bit more room. And I'll rejig the lighting around this platform a little later. It's not too important right now. I'm going to put, however, that right there, and I'm just going to deposit these fences. Now, the first thing that we need to do is come out here to our 1 block bridge, because Enderman can teleport up to 32 blocks away from where they are. So now we want to cover that so that they don't. So we need to come 32 blocks away using these stone bricks. This could be any building block of your choice. As you can see, there's just a ton of Endermen up there, and that's lowering our rates, and we don't want that, so we're going to prevent that. And we're going to cover this with water too when we get around to it. But for right now, we just want to bridge out like so. And beyond that, they won't be able to teleport that far. So let's come back in here. So that's that done. Now we need to go on the roof of this, and I think the easiest way to do that would be to get some temporary blocks actually. Some netherrack, and we can just break that fairly easily when we get on top. So we just kind of want to hop up here and break this. We can break this easily with our fists. I did not anticipate that. We don't want any blocks left around if we can help it, because that will cause issues later on with the water flow, which we don't want. So what we'll do is we'll just come out to where this ends instead. Did I bring my other buckets? No. I need to bring all of my buckets. I mean, you could do it with 2, but to make this process nice and fast, we really need... Dang it. We really need more than the 2 buckets. So let me grab my remaining buckets. There they are. And let's actually do this for real this time. So let's head out over here all the way to where this ends. And we are just going to hop right up here. And we're going to run along this bit first. And all where these torches are on top of this, that's all going to go. It's all going to get covered with water. And I guess we should start by just placing that, like so. And, well, actually, no, we don't want to do that straight away. We want to start with this area. And we want to make it 3 wide so that we can fill our buckets from the infinite spring that is created here. As you can see, all of these Endermen are dying because there are only 1 punch away from death, so that's always good. There may be a few around here that spawned here when I came back here after getting my equipment, but we should be alright, honestly. So we can get all of our buckets filled up again, and we're going to have to do it around the ladder as well. And we're going to go all the way around the edge. The slabs there will prevent any Enderman from causing trouble. So we want to do this, and I'm going to have to go and fill my buckets again. That's fine. And we want to cover this whole thing in water. We don't want anywhere left where Enderman could potentially spawn. We don't want any of that. So let's go all the way around here. Like so. I'm not going to bother about those couple of torches. I mean, we could make them fairly easily. So let's fill all of these slots in. And this is basically what you have to do. You have to just fill the whole thing with water. And you may notice that we don't have everywhere filled with water quite yet, even though we've gotten all the way around the spawn platform here. And so we are going to have to put more source blocks around the edge. This is just crazy now. So that's going to take a little bit of time. So I'm going to cut the camera to when we are ready to start on the next bit. So I will be right back, guys. So when you're done, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. As you can see, the water just flows off the edge. So there are no spawnable spots here anymore for Endermen to teleport to, meaning that they will all be inside the farm. So this is pretty easy to do. Once you've got a good hold around it, typically water sources will just create themselves pretty much. But we are still not quite done yet. There is this area right here, which we also need to work on. So in order to do that, we need to put water source blocks on each of these tiles, and they will just flow across the edge. Very easy. Nothing too complex about this at all. And you just have to just refill your buckets, which is why I brought as many buckets as I did. In fact, that's a lot of buckets that we could actually use. We don't need anything else on us at the moment. Now, this is where typically a lot of people will fall off and go into the void, so you need to be very careful here. In fact, I actually have my axe on me, so I really don't want to die. As you can see, an Enderman, he teleported to this platform. We don't want that, but he's now dead anyway, so that's not too much of a problem. Now, you could make the safety platform smaller, but I wanted to leave it nice and big just in case something gets added in a future update which we need enchanting for, or experience levels. So we do have that optional additional room if we really need it. So now we just need to hop down here, and I think that maybe on this run we'll be pretty close to being finished. So we just need to put that down. Oh yeah, next time definitely. So as you can see, everything's covered in water now. So no Enderman will be able to spawn or teleport into anywhere apart from the platform where we will punch them to death. And we can punch them to death for their experience and all that other fun stuff. So we can create lots of heavily enchanted equipment very quickly now compared to the zombie grinder and then the blaze farm. I mean, this is incredible really, even compared to something like a blaze farm. It's just experience on demand, which is what makes this so great. So, one more. Okay, there we go. Now then, we do have this issue because there was this netherrack block here, so we're just going to have to scoop that one back. Ah, this is going to be a problem. Just going to have to work with this a little minute. I didn't actually anticipate that that would happen. Now we've got to try and get back onto this block. Is it all going to do that now? I hope not. Let me see. It should only do it as far as this. Yes. Sort of disintegrating now. I don't know about this one. I didn't anticipate that. I really didn't. I mean, I guess we could potentially remove the water with... Oops, with torches. Maybe. Oops. We potentially could move the water with torches. But I did not anticipate that one. So that's the idea here, is you're meant to have like a little water tube, but we've kind of screwed the end of it up a little bit by placing that netherrack there. So I'm going to try and use torches to sort of direct it out of the way. So that's one thing that you need to make sure that you do in your own design, is don't let it get like this. Because if you do, man, there's going to be trouble. Let me see. Maybe we could try this. Oh no, that's definitely what we don't want. I've just made it worse. I'm going to have to figure this one out, guys, so I will be right back. Alright, guys, so I fixed it. All you need to do is just put like a little cap on the end. And you may need to just shuffle around with some temporary blocks and just make a frame to force the water downwards. But that's now been solved. So what we can go ahead and do now is actually use this thing, because, hey, we've spent all this time building the thing, so I think it's about time that we actually used it, huh? So what we can do now is actually hit the Enderman, and they're all one-punch kills, and we can just get super fast experience. Just stand here and punch them all to death. Like so. And get lots of experience and lots of ender pearls. Like so. So that's going to be, I think, pretty much it for this tutorial, guys. Little additions that I'm going to make here off camera is going to be, I'm going to set the enchantment table up and do a bit of enchanting, get the anvil going. One thing you could do is add a rail line between where you get into the end and here. We haven't talked about minecarts yet, but we will be talking about them very soon, so we may make that enhancement. And you could also add some redstone-based implementations, such as hoppers to collect the ender pearls and send them to certain places. But for the moment, I'm happy with what we've done. I hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial, guys, and found it useful. This is going to be my go-to enchantment station from now on. And I hope to see you in the next episode, when we'll probably take a look at what I was initially going to do a couple of episodes ago, and that was the hardened clay. Now, one thing to take note of with this is that it does drain your hunger bar. This is just one last little snippet that I really need to mention. It will drain your hunger bar, so make sure that you have food with you, but in addition to that, always make sure that you never run out of food while using this thing, because you can potentially ender pearl in there and not be able to get out. So always make sure that you have a surplus of food. Potentially one thing that you could do out here is set up a small melon farm and just use melons, because they're a nice cheap food source, which I may look into doing. Because they will just spawn on the dirt. If you just set up a little melon farm in this corner right here, then I may go ahead and do that, and that might be something that you could do yourself. So yeah, that is really going to be it from me today, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. So until then, guys, see you later and have a good day. Hey, I'm back, and one thing I forgot to mention in the last clip there was, for this build you're going to need everything that I said you would need at the start, but if you want to do this size temporary platform, then you're going to need around another stacks 5 stacks, can't talk today, of stone bricks to completely cover this. So yeah, you're also going to need around maybe another stack or so of cobblestone over what I had for building this temporary platform down here as well. And that really is going to be just about it from me, guys. So see you later and have a good day.